Have you ever wondered about the most bizarre facts in history? Our journey back in time begins in the ancient world, a time of grandeur, mystery, and wonders that still baffle us today. Let's start with one of the most iconic structures of all time, the Great Pyramid of Giza. It's easy to marvel at its sheer size and precision, but did you know it was built without the use of the wheel? Yes, that's right. The wheel, a simple yet revolutionary invention, hadn't been introduced to the Egyptians during the pyramid's construction. Instead, they relied on sledges, manpower, and their ingenuity to haul massive blocks of stone across the desert. Now let's leap forward to the era of the Roman Empire at its zenith. Spanning 3 continents, the empire controlled a staggering 2.2 million square miles. That's almost the size of the moon. To put that into perspective, the Roman Empire was so vast that it would take a modern jet airliner flying at cruising speed over 4 hours to traverse its width. This colossal empire was home to an estimated 50 to 90 million inhabitants, which was about 20% of the world's population. Our journey wouldn't be complete without a detour into the realm of the strange and the peculiar. The ancient Egyptians, known for their innovative and sometimes downright bizarre practices, used crocodile dung as a form of contraception. Yes, you heard that right. Crocodile dung. It was used in pessaries, a device inserted into the vagina, believed to be effective in preventing pregnancy. While it sounds absurd to us now, they believed in its efficacy, and it's a testament to their early attempts at understanding and controlling fertility. From crocodile dung to colossal empires, the ancient world was indeed a place of bizarre wonders. And this is just the beginning. So buckle up, we've got plenty more astonishing facts from history to uncover. As we journey forward in time, we find ourselves in the medieval era, a time of knights, castles, and some truly bizarre facts. Consider this. During the Middle Ages, many people believed that bathing was unhealthy. Yes, you heard that right. They believed that water could open pores, which in turn would allow diseases to enter the body. It was a time when the scent of body odor was as common as the sight of a castle on a hill. This is why, for a significant part of the medieval period, bathing was a rare luxury, often reserved only for the nobility and the rich. Now, if you think that's strange, let's delve into laundry matters. During this time, cleanliness was not high on the priorities, and when it came to laundry, the preferred detergent was not soap, but human urine. The ammonia in urine acted as a cleaning agent, and people would collect and use it to wash their clothes. It's a bit of a stinky situation, isn't it? But perhaps the most bizarre of all medieval practices was the trial by ordeal. When someone was accused of a crime, they would be subjected to a physical test, such as holding a red-hot iron, walking on hot coals, or being dunked in water. The belief was that divine intervention would save the innocent. If the accused survived the ordeal or healed quickly, they were deemed innocent. If they failed or their wounds festered, they were considered guilty. A rather extreme way to determine innocence or guilt, wouldn't you say? From not bathing to washing clothes with urine and determining guilt through physical ordeals, the medieval period was full of oddities that may seem outlandish to us today. But they were part and parcel of everyday life back then, and they serve as a fascinating glimpse into a time that was very different from our own. Clearly, the medieval period was not just a time of chivalry and castles, but also of some truly strange beliefs and practices. Icene script. Fast forward to the modern era, and you might think we have outgrown such bizarre practices, but history still has a few surprises in store. Let's start with a head-scratching tale of a chicken named Mike. In the 40s, a farmer from Colorado set out to prepare dinner, but ended up creating a medical marvel. After a failed attempt at beheading a chicken, the bird, later named Mike, lived for an astounding 18 months without a head. The farmer fed Mike through an eyedropper, and he became a sideshow sensation. In the annals of history, Mike will always be remembered as the headless chicken who refused to kick the bucket. Moving on, let's take a trip down under to Australia, a land known for its unique wildlife and apparently its wars against them. In the 30s, the country was plagued by an overpopulation of emus. These large, flightless birds were wreaking havoc on crops, prompting the Australian government to declare what is now humorously referred to as the Great Emu War. Soldiers armed with machine guns were dispatched to curb the emu population, but the resilient birds proved to be formidable opponents. Despite a series of battles, the emus emerged victorious, marking one of the most unusual chapters in military history. And lastly, let's take a look at a fact that's more whimsical than weird. Believe it or not, there are more fake flamingos in the world than real ones. These kitschy plastic lawn ornaments, first created in the 50s, have far outnumbered their living counterparts. So the next time you see a pink flamingo, chances are it's a plastic imposter. From headless chickens to fake flamingos, the modern era continues to be a source of strange and surprising facts. And while these oddities might seem strange, they remind us that history is not just a collection of dates and events, but a treasure trove of fascinating and often peculiar stories. As we have seen, history is filled with bizarre facts that can leave us surprised, amused, and sometimes even a little horrified. From the eclectic mishmash of occurrences that have taken place across the expansive timeline of human civilization, we have handpicked some of the most intriguing, unusual, and absurd stories for you. We began our journey in the ancient world, a time so vastly different from our own that we can only relate to it through the remnants of their civilizations and the texts that have survived. There we encountered wonders that not only challenge our modern comprehension, but also amaze us with their ingenuity. Who can forget the Egyptians who used crocodile dung as a primitive form of contraception, a method that may seem unsound us but was widely accepted in their times? The Greeks, too, had their fair share of unique beliefs. They envisioned the universe as an unruly soup of elements, an unformed mass that was later organized into the intricate cosmos we know today, thanks to the intervention of gods. These stories inform us of the early human attempts to understand a world that was bigger than they could comprehend, filled with mysteries that they strived to explain in their own ways. Moving forward, we ventured into the medieval era. Often remembered for its castles and knights, the period was also rife with peculiar practices and beliefs. For instance, the Europeans found a rather unorthodox solution to laundry, using urine to get those stubborn stains out. Sounds unbelievable, right? But facts like these serve as potent reminders of the resourcefulness of our ancestors, even in the absence of advanced technology. Pope Gregory IX's War on Cats, perhaps one of the more unusual tales of the era, paints a picture of the superstitions that prevailed. Vehemently believing that cats were the devil's emissaries, his decree led to a mass extermination of felines. The unforeseen consequence? A surge in the rat population and the rapid spread of the Black Death, a grim illustration of the butterfly effect. In the modern era, the repertoire of oddities did not dwindle. The astonishing tale of Mike, the headless chicken who lived for 18 months without a head, surely leaves one flabbergasted. And let's not forget the Great Emu War in Australia, where the military was deployed to handle the emu population, only to be declared defeated by the resilient birds. These stories, although absurd, are a testament to the unpredictable and often humorous turns that history can take. Each of these stories, stitched together, weave a rich tapestry of human experiences. They highlight that history is not just a dry presentation of facts and figures, it is a vibrant narrative of human beings, filled strange, the macabre, the humorous, and the profound. These bizarre facts serve as reminders that our ancestors were not so different from us, grappling with the mysteries of the world in their own unique ways. So history is not merely about dates and events, it's also about the bizarre, the unusual, and the downright weird. Next time you think history is boring, just remember the crocodile dung, the urine laundry, and the headless chicken. It's guaranteed to make you see the past in a whole new light.